There we go, for posterity. Okay, so you fellas want to do Angelscript, huh? Well, let's just hop over to angelscript.hazelight.se, baby. Ow! That's where all the cool shit happens. So, it's a good place to get started. Just have some basic, nice tutorials. Where we want to go is the installation here. And then we have getting Unreal Engine source access. So unfortunately, we have to go there to even download anything. So I'm just gonna go into the releases pages here. And the problem is that I'm logged in right now. And you actually have to be granted access to this repo. Since we've forked it from Unreal Engine, from Epic Games, you kind of need to get source code access from Epic to be able to see this repo. So what you have to do is that you have to go to this website here, like the first link in this installation here. Then it says a lot of things about like blah blah blah, do I need source code, blah blah blah, a bunch of stuff. You have to make an Epic account. So it just says here. And then
Oh, by the way, are you recording?
yes, I am recording.
Good.
So you can watch this later.
Record?
Yes.
Are you recording in the correct resolution?
I don't know. I think so. I think it's correct. You know, I'm not gonna check. No, so yeah, what you do is that you make an Epic account. See if I can sign in here. Okay, we have to pick boats. That's a
It's
boat.
gonna be on the test
That's a boat.
for sure.
Robot, robot, robot,
Okay, we're gonna
robot.
do it. Come on. Boat, 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 boat. That's a boat plane? Does that count? I don't think so. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to go into my fucking...
The joy of two-factor authentication.
192467. Continue. Okay, cool.
Quick, let's seal his personal information, but
Yes.
it's very useful knowledge.
Seller. Publisher. Okay, I don't know. So you got...
if you get assets on the Epic
Yeah, I
Games Store,
guess I'm gonna make some fucking sick assets. So you go to connections, I think. Yeah, and then accounts in your Epic in your Epic account page. I don't know what it's called. And then you just connect with GitHub here. And then it will say like, oh, you have to log into GitHub and blah blah blah, a bunch of shit. So you just do that. Then
Wait, where was the connection thing? Where did you connect with GitHub?
so you log in on Epic Games,
Yeah. Then you go to personal.
personal, connections,
Yeah.
accounts, GitHub.
Oh, accounts. Yeah.
And then I think you should be good. I think that's all you need to do. You need to sign a EULA or something. Yeah, click some buttons. Yeah, then... Oh, okay, you get an email saying it invites you to their organization, which apparently you need to join. And then you should be good.
I've also heard from a friend that might take a few days sometimes. But
Really?
yeah, I think he waited like 2 or 3 days.
What the
But
hell? Okay.
I don't know.
For me,
I think I got it instantly, but
Okay, that's good. Yes, I guess they did like a background check on your friend.
maybe.
All right. Then we should be linked. So now we should be able to go into to this link here, release pages. You could just clone the. You could do git clone if you want to build from source. That's gonna take like 5 hours. It's not really any use unless you want to change engine code. Otherwise, you just go to release pages and you download all of these 7-zip parts here. When was this updated? October 29th.
Can you go back
Kinda
one
recent.
step? Where did you go to? Oh, it's on that page.
Yeah,
right.
installation and then this link here.
Releases. Yeah, cool.
So is there like one guy maintaining this still working at Hazelight, or
Yeah, Lucas is still at Hazelight, yeah.
okay, cool. Does he like work full time, or is this like a side gig?
I mean, it's a half. I mean, the stuff he does in it is for Hazelight, and then he just clones it to this repo whenever he feels like it.
Okay, cool.
So the AngelScript engine that Hazelight has is probably has a bunch of stuff that this doesn't have.
I don't know how much he trims out. I know there is Hazelight specific stuff in the source code.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He might trim out a little bit of it. Yeah, it might happen
Okay.
actually. Some of the more. Oh yeah, I remember that he renamed the FMath namespace to math, and that was a huge discussion at work. I remember it was like month-long battle to convince him to rename FMath to math. That was-
Really?
Yeah, it was really funny.
What was the argument?
Why not?
Well, Lucas didn't like that he had to type FMath in C++ and math in Angelscript, and he wanted to keep it the same. And everyone else said he was dumb. That was essentially the argument. It's
But
Did he
he
create
wanted-
any issues? Sorry, yeah.
So he
well,
wanted it
no.
to be
It's quite easy to
different.
fix. Sorry, what did you say, Frederick?
He wanted it to be different, or I don't
No, he
understand.
didn't like that it was different. Like in C++, he had to type FMath : but in
yeah.
Angelscript, he had to type math :
Yeah,
But we said
yeah.
like every other namespace works that way. So why not
Yeah.
math? Because we also had a math namespace for other math stuff that we added. So we always had to be like, okay, is this math function in FMath or is it in math? And we had to like sort of
Yeah.
pick between them. And I think that was a solid argument because eventually he was convinced.
Wait,
And
so
also-
which one do you download? The
Yeah, all of
massive-
these 7 zips here.
all of them?
All
you
of
have to
them.
click all of them?
You have to click all of them.
Oh, that's annoying.
I think there's an upload limit to GitHub. That's why we had to split them up.
Sorry.
Hey, Willem.
Yeah, isn't also the Kismet math library, that's also under math. Did that create any issues? That FMath and Kismet math library is the same?
No, they just get merged. So when you type
Yeah.
math : then you just get all the functions from both. We had like FMath and Kismet math and Haze math. So we had 3 different ones. So
You
Yes.
also grab the zip and the tar.gz?
No. we don't need the source code.
Okay, so that's only if you want to build from source, which takes 5 hours or something.
Yes, it's
Okay.
not really recommended. And like 200 gigs of memory.
Great.
And you still like recompile the engine if you want to do source code changes, even though you've downloaded the 5 parts?
No, you'd have to clone it separately. So
Okay.
there's no way to take this pre-built and compile it.
Gotcha.
You have to get the source.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah, we removed imports, right? I remember that. That's nice. Okay, so I have downloaded them all. I did that before. So I'm just gonna go into 7-zip and extract. Hopefully that doesn't take a million years. It looks like it will take a million years. I should have done this before. 25 minutes. Okay, while that's doing, we can do Visual Studio Code. Okay, it won't take that long. So while we're doing that, let's set up Visual Studio Code. So at Hazelight, we always code all Angelscripts with Visual Studio Code. You don't need to do it, like it's just text files, of course. So Unreal doesn't really care about where you edit them from, so I use Sublime, but almost everyone else used Visual Studio Code. So let's download that. I don't know if I have it. I don't. Okay, so let's download it. I think there's a link. Angelscript.
So wait, I'm assuming you can't debug with Sublime Text because you don't have the plugin?
Yes. So when I debugged, I had to go into Visual Studio Code and debug.
Okay.
Let's see. I used to follow the link in Hazelight to just get Visual Studio Code. Use this one here. Just follow the link, download, and that's it. So let's install it. Okay.
Where did you unzip the? Just anywhere, or?
I just unzipped it in downloads. I'll move it later.
And if you right-click the 01 file, will that unzip all of the others as well?
With 7-zip, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you can do it with any other. I mean, I'm guessing like WinRAR and most things will recognize that this is a part. Oh, high contrast. Ooh. Oh God. Okay. So what we're gonna do? So we're gonna go into extensions. And we're just gonna search for Angelscript. And we're just gonna download the one that says Unreal Angelscript from Hazelight. So the one that's from Hazelight. So I'm just gonna install that. Man, we even have more downloads than the actual Angelscript plugin. That's cool.
Wait, so it was already language before? Or...
Yeah, Angelscript is its own scripting language. So.
Oh, okay. So you didn't create the compiler and everything? That's because, yeah, I was confused about that. I was like, what?
Oh, no. No, Angelscript exists on its own. We
Cool.
just put it into Unreal.
Nice.
Okay, so now we wait for our magical loading bar. One second.
So, do you have any like suggestions for plugins to, because like I started already kind of a bit small, and I noticed that it doesn't put like new braces on new lines, like opening braces.
Okay.
Do you have like any suggestions of plugins to fix that or something, or like settings?
No, not any off the top. As I said, I didn't use Visual Studio Code, but I don't think anyone used any plugins really at Hazelight, if I remember correctly. We just kind of did it raw. I know
Okay.
some people had like to do plugins and stuff, but
Cool.
oh yeah, this was the one feature I added, like the add import to. That doesn't even used anymore because we removed imports. But before you had to import everything. So I remember I was like, I need to add an add import to functions. That was my one contribution. I'll take it. Put my name on it. Put my name, co-author.
Hell yeah.
Snore.
But wait, so you extracted into a folder, so all of them are in the same folder?
All of them? What do you mean?
Like all of the parts?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right now it's just right next to them.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And complete. All right. So now we have our folder here with Angelscript. I'm just gonna move it somewhere that's not like downloads. Oh, you have to move it across drives. How big is this? Okay, I'm just gonna keep it here for now.
Should be like 40 or 50 gigs, I think.
Yeah, I'll do it later. So what we'll do is that we'll hop into here. Then we'll go to Engine, Binaries, Win64, and then we'll just find our little UE editor for there it is, UE4editor.exe. Could be nice to make a shortcut for it. Actually, I'm gonna do it. Copy. It's gonna make paste shortcut. There you go. Now we started. Probably gonna take a little bit. No, it actually was pretty fast. I guess the shaders are already pre-compiled. That's nice. All right, perfect. Oh, Unreal networking memories. So I'll go into games. So we want to make some game stuff. Let's do a. I guess we'll do a third person. Yeah, sure. So I'll pick C++ here, since you guys are programmers. So I'll make a C++ project. And let's see, let's put it in, let's see, prog Unreal. Then I'll call it Angelscript test.
So is it actually? I mean, are there? Is it like? Can you write C++ as well, or is it only Angelscript?
No, you can
Making
write
a
C++
Angelscript?
as well, as much as you want.
For me, it just seemed to be like a one-click convert because we already had a project with both C++ and Blueprint, and it was just kind of worked. Super nice.
Yeah, it integrates super well.
Wait.
Alright, so it's gonna generate a bunch of shit. Alright. We have a game. Woohoo! So that's Angelscript, guys. Yeah, that's how you do it. You just type in, choose the template, and then you ship it.
Sick.
So this is essentially It Takes Two. I mean, probably.
Yeah, you
essentially.
just need another character in the.
Yeah, exactly.
you're golden.
Then we're done. Ship. Yeah. Okay. So here's our game. Very nice. So what we'll do now to just start being able to write Angelscript really is that we, if I go to this folder now for this project, so Unreal Angelscript test, wherever you put it, there should be a folder named script here. It's empty. And all you need to do is just open up this folder in Visual Studio Code. So just go open folder. Prog FG, nope. Prog Unreal Angelscript test script. Boom. Yeah, sure, I trust myself. And there we go. And now we're, pretty much done. So all you need to do is just open up the script folder, and then Visual Studio Code will hook up to Unreal for competition and stuff like that. So now we can start adding scripts. So I'll just add something. Test.as. You just add them whenever. You can make folders. You can do whatever you want. So I'll make test actor. So we'll inherit from actor. Oh, I don't have Vim. Oh god, this is gonna be tough. You save that. Oh, we also get warnings like this. So it's like, oh, it says like test actor violates the Unreal naming convention. So we need to put an A in the beginning there. There we go. And hopefully we should be able to see. So what I usually do is that I usually have the output log open somewhere. Probably on the other screen and so on. Because what we'll see, if we clear, and I resave this, boom. Now we can see that Angelscript's recompiled the functions that we saved, or the files that we saved. So that way we know that Angelscript is online and working. So I'll just do a begin play here. Oh my god, it even auto-completed to a U function. Holy shit. This plugin is pretty rad. So let's print here. Print. Hello.
Is
Do that.
there like some, I don't know, documentation or somewhere where you can find all of the functions that are native to Angelscript, or just what they're called?
I don't know if there's a complete list, but there definitely is. Like here, you can see most of the ones that are used.
Right.
Like there's a lot of examples as well. So if we go to where we that are very useful, if we go here and then do script examples. So I went to the folder where I extracted the Angelscript. There's script examples here. Examples. We have a bunch of different examples here that sort of explain different things you can do in Angelscript. So for example, now that we're doing actors, I can check the example actor. Yes, I trust it. So here you can see like all the kind of cool things you can do with actors. Here you have begin play. It doesn't have a tick, but how to make methods. It's explaining very well what's going on and so on. It's quite nice. So I would just
Wasn't there like? Oh, sorry.
no, so I would recommend, like, if you're feeling stuck or feeling like you want to know how to go further, I would check the examples folder and see if you can find anything useful there, because there's a lot of good things in there.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry.
Wasn't there like all the bindings for Unreal functions are just following some basic rules of naming convention, just getting rid of some prefixes basically as well. So like when you start to learn those, I'm guessing it's quite easy.
Yeah, so for every function that is, let's see if I can actually open this up in Visual Studio. If I compile. Let's see if I can go there. So I'll go to prog. Unreal, Angelscript tests. At least open up the SLN file here. Cool. Yeah, so if we have stuff like if I if let's say I make some function library, so I'll make a class UML functions. Right, so let's say I make some U functions here. There are blueprints callable. So essentially any function that you can call from blueprint, you can call from Angelscript. So do like do cool thing. That doesn't do anything. Let's see if this compiles. I feel like live coding is... Oh. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, at least restart. Why did I try? It's a development editor. It's built from code here. Oh no. Oh yeah, we didn't generate. So now I should be able to do ML... What did I call it? ML functions. Oh no! Oh, it is like that. Oh, I didn't make static, fuck. Fuck. This is not what I remember. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I sat in Angelscript and Unreal, I gotta say. But yeah, any static functions you declare in UObject, any object, any UObject, even actors and stuff like that, that is blueprint callable, you can call from Angelscript. I didn't think you had to type the U. I thought it was just ML functions, like it shaved off the U. But apparently not.
I think it only shaves off the U if it also has a suffix of like statics, library, or function library.
Yeah, that might be it. UML functions do cool thing. Yeah, there we go. So now I can call it from Angelscript. Yeah, so that's the rules that Willem was talking about, and it's probably here you can see. Yeah, so here's like any U function is blueprint callable, blueprint pure. You can also do script callable if you don't want it to be callable from blueprints. U properties works the same way. Yeah, so here you see what it cuts off. So if it has statics in the name, library, function library, U Kismet, U blueprint, and so on, it will cut off the U and statics. So it will just be whatever is in between. So if I do U email statics, if I name it that instead, and restart.
You customize those, like what gets cut off, by the way, like in some file.
No, yeah, it's hard coded.
Okay.
And if you go to the hard coding, you will also see it cuts off haze. If you do like haze statics and so on.
Oh, so that's actually in the distro. That's pretty fun.
Yes. So now you can see I only have to type ML. So it cut off the U and the statics at the end. So you only get the ML. Do cool thing. So for any library that's like U, Kismet, Math library, and so on, it will cut up the U, Kismet, and the library at the end. So you only get Math. And so here are all the blueprint callable math functions in Unreal. Very nice. So if we check our test actor now, we should be able to find it. So if I just go to place actors here and try test actor, there it is. I can place it in the world. Of course, it doesn't have any components on it right now. So it doesn't have any type of transform in it, because it needs at least one root component to be able to have a position and rotation and so on. So let's just add a scene component as the root, because that's usually what you do. So the way to add components in Angelscript is very easy. You type U property, default component, and then you just type in after that which type of component you want. We want a scene component. And to make it the root component, you just type in root component here. Then this component will become the root. Can I zoom in somehow? Okay, there we go. So now we have a scene component as the root. And I just save. And then our actor in the scene has a root component. So it's very fast. Like it's just, you just change code, save, and then it just works. Super nice.
It just works, TM.
It just works, TM. So now if I start the game, we should have hello. Yeah, because that happened in begin play, right? Sorry, Frederick, what were you going to say?
Can you also have like constructors like normally? And when do they run in that case?
There is no constructors now.
Okay.
It generates a constructor for you based on the U properties and everything.
Right. Fair enough.
There's also the default keywords as well. If you want to like set properties.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the way you do constructors, quotation marks, in Angelscript. So in constructors in C++, you would set all the default values, right? So if we added a sphere component here as a collision. And we want to set the radius. Then we type default sphere.radius. Sphere radius equals 500. Now if I save that and go in here, then we see we have a sphere component on us, and its radius is 500. Very nice. Very easy to use. So, if we want to add a little mesh to it, so I'll add a mesh here. Then I don't know if there still is a way to set an asset. It was before. Let's see if I can do it. Mesh, static mesh. I don't know if we removed it or not. Yes, we did remove it. Okay, cool. So there's no way to reference assets directly in Angelscript. What is usually done is that either if it's like a one-time actor that you sort of place in, like it's not really reused much. Well, it doesn't have the mesh on it. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Just didn't update for some reason. If it's just a one-time actor that you have in the level, whoops, I can just set it here, right? To whatever. Or if it's something that's reused, then I'm gonna say that's like 99% of the case, you do this instead. You actually make a BP version just to set assets. Because if you remember back in my Unreal course, that's the way it's done in C++, right? You define all of the mechanics and behavior in C++, but then when you want to add meshes and you want to add particle effects or whatever, you do that in a BP version. So everything that's visual, you kind of want to do in the blueprint version. So we do blueprints.
You can actually also do it in Angelscript still with like asset, and then you just type in the path to the mesh.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
totally-
I tried, but it doesn't autocomplete it at least. But it was very rarely used.
Yeah, it worked for me, but it's you have to remember the path. I sent the syntax in the chat.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It does work. It was very rarely used. That's why I kind of want to tell you not to do it. I don't know. There's some people at Hazelight who liked doing asset, but I was definitely not one of them. But yeah, you could do stuff like this to reference something. And so on. To reference assets in Angelscript, but I wasn't a big fan. Because you have to remember where it is, and you know, if you move the asset, then it kind of breaks and so on. So instead, what I always like to do was just make a BP version. So you can just go, like, make new blueprints, and then you just go into all classes here and type test actor. And there it is. So it's BP test actor. And then I will just set it in here. So you just go to mesh and just set it here. I would probably even add the mesh in here. Like I wouldn't have the mesh even in Angelscript. Okay, just remove it like that. And then just add it through Angelscript. Because it's nice, because then like if art people want to come in and change like where the meshes are, how many meshes there are, maybe they split it up into multiple meshes and so on, they can do that easily. They don't need to tell you like, oh, the number of meshes has changed, can you please change the Angelscript? It's super easy for them, so that's what I usually like to do. But yeah, it was super common in Hazelight to have a lot of BPs that just don't have any functionality in them. Like the event graph is just empty. And the only thing the BP is for is just setting assets. That's very common. So now we have a test actor with a cube. Very nice. So let's say we want to do collisions then. So let's say if the player walks into this, we print something. Very common thing you might want to do. Then we can actually go to an example file. That's quite nice. I have been in that file a lot because it's a little bit of a tricky syntax to get it working. Let's see, go to examples and then go to overlaps. Here, example overlaps. So there are some override functions we can do on actors, like actor begin overlap, other actor. And this will just run for any collision on the actor that collided with something. It's a simple way of doing it. Here is for primitive components. So they have this onComponent begin overlap delegate that we can hook up to. So this is how we hook up a function in Angelscript to a delegate or an event. We call this add u function, and then we do like this, and then the name of the function we want to bind.
Is n lowercase n preface, is that the same as like, well, what is it in Unreal? It's like,
Yeah, so n
Name.
prefix means it's an f name.
yeah, okay, f name, exactly.
Yes, instead of a string. Um,
And why was it blueprint override all of those functions? Like in the examples, so like you function blueprint override.
yeah,
Begin
so
play.
here it is because begin play, we're overriding that from C++, right? So then you do blueprint override. For these ones, we don't have to do blueprint override because they're new functions. The reason we have to make these u functions at all is because whenever you bind a u function to an event, the function you're binding needs to be a u function for it to be able to find it. So that's why the trigger on begin overlap and on end overlap are u functions here. And the reason it's begin blueprint override here again is because begin play is overridden from C++. Okay. So I'll do sphere on component begin overlap, add u function. So then we have u object object, and that's just gonna be this. And then the function name is gonna be handle begin overlap. Now we have a nice feature now in the Angelscript plugin to actually generate this function. So if I click the little light bulb here, then we get generate method handle begin overlap. So that's quite nice.
Hell yeah.
Holy
You don't
shit.
even- Then you don't even need to remember all of the.
Yes, all of the billions of input parameters.
Ah, that's so nice.
Yeah, it's super nice. This almost made me want to switch over from Sublime to to Visual Studio Code, and I'll do the same for end. Just generate that. There we go. So now we have end and begin overlap here. Let's move around a little bit. Okay. So in begin overlap, will you say
What is the difference between print and log, by the way? I saw that log was also a thing.
log only logs to the log.
Ah, okay.
That's a
Log.
great sentence. So if I do log
Yeah.
hello, then we should only see it in the output window.
Whereas print outputs to both, or
Yeah,
honestly,
so
what does
print will print to screen here, and it will print to the log.
Okay.
So we can see here was like log blueprint user messages, hello. But then here we
Nice.
have only the log. So it's nice if you have something that's you want to be able to scroll through later. We can also do something called a format string. It's quite nice. So I want to print like the actor name right here. I want to print like something like, other actor entered. Like. So what you can do is you can do a format string, which is done by typing F at the beginning. And what this will do is that it's kind of like printf, or it's more like C# really. It's based on Python, so I just named 3 different things, but it's based on the Python format string. So what you do is that you do something like this. You wrap what you want to enter in the string with these brackets here, curly brackets. So then that will be turned into a string by the formatting. So that's not a feature of print, that's a feature of this type of string. So it's a special type of string, so it can be used anywhere. So it has nothing to do with the print. So now, if I run into it, I should see, yeah, oh. There we have, if I do it again. Yeah, there we have like third person character, blah, 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 at some address entered. So you just turned it all into a nice string.
But okay, so you say that it's a feature of this type of string, but how would you use it otherwise? Can you save it as like a string?
Yeah, so we can do this. F string message equals F.
Oh, cool.
You don't need to restart either. Like I use save now, and we don't need to restart. We can just try again. Boom. Third person character 2 entered.
What a time to be alive, huh?
Yeah. It's
Amazing.
quite amazing. You can also do equals here.
What?
Yeah, and that will print like this. So you'll get the name of whatever you put in there equals the value.
Oh.
So that's very nice if you want to debug a bunch of variables and you want to see like which variable equals what. Then you can just do the variable name equals and you get a format string like that. It's quite nice. So, that's the basics of that. For inputs, I'm actually not sure. I have to look this up. Because I know there was some input stuff he added. Math, function specifiers. Character input. Let's see. Okay, so this is how you do input. So you add an input component, and then you can bind actions to that input component. Kind of like you do in C++. So that way you can take input.
What is F input action handler signature?
Right, that is because this function, this bind access,
Yeah.
it doesn't take
Oh.
it doesn't take like a this and function name. If you remember from here, it took like a an object and then a function name to make a delegate. Here it doesn't do that. It just wants he just wants a delegate object passed into it. So the way you do that is by just making it like this. So you just type in the delegate name, and then in parentheses you type this and the name of the function. And that will just create a delegate object for you. It's just a thing that holds a pointer and a name, really. It's nothing more advanced than that, really.
So does this mean that you don't need like a pawn for input? Because in normal Unreal it's kind of tricky to not have input if you to have input if you don't have a pawn, right?
I don't know. I would have to experiment that. I haven't actually tried this. I'm assuming you still need a pawn.
Okay.
And you know the character is a pawn, so
yeah.
And you still need to possess it and all of that stuff. It's still like the standard Unreal things.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm assuming so. The reason I don't know much about this is, of course, we don't use this in at Hazelight. We have our own, whole own input system that just turns it into actions for capabilities. So that's how we check for inputs at Hazelight. We don't use this at all. But for your projects, I'm guessing you're gonna have to use this for for your games.
Well, I'm
Uh,
gonna try to do capabilities, but I guess I'll have to register and send the actions to those myself.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll have to read the inputs and then feed them in as actions to the capabilities.
Yep.
Cool. I'm thinking this is enough to get you guys started. Play around with it a bit. So right now I'm the mentor for Frederick and Oliver. I guess we'll talk a little bit about how that's gonna work. I know that Frederick has a list of things he wants to do, and Oliver, I guess you can come up with the same, like kind of what you want to do, and then we can talk about how we're gonna set that up, if we do separate mentoring or together.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
I'm definitely up for doing like mentoring together if it's something more like how you do stuff in AngelScript. But I'm not sure Oliver needs to know all of this stuff. That's just for me. Like I don't know if he's doing capabilities and stuff like that.
Oliver's smart boy.
I'm not doing exactly capabilities, but I'm trying to do something similar, and regardless, it's nice to know. So I think shared mentoring sessions would be great.
Yeah,
All right.
cool.
Well, I'm up for that.
Sweet. Yeah, well, we'll set things up. Otherwise, nice seeing you guys again. I hope you found this helpful. Best of luck to everyone on their adventures. And yeah, see you guys later.
Yeah.
Have a
let me
good
know
one.
when the
Bye.
recording is up.
Bye.
Bye.